My name is Dave Harris, 41. For 15 years, I genuinely believed my marriage to Vanessa was solid, a quiet port in a chaotic world. That was the lie I lived. It all shattered one Tuesday morning. She sat across from me at the kitchen table, her coffee growing cold, giggling at her phone. When I tried to discuss our son Ethan's college plans, she just murmured, "Nate's company is launching next week," her eyes glued to the screen, a private smile playing on her lips. Was it just a client crisis? No. A reverse phone lookup, a clandestine observation, and then, at 3 a.m., her phone buzzed, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow night. This is going to be perfect." All in one devastating day. Beside me, Vanessa slept, oblivious, her soft breathing a stark contrast to the earthquake about to hit her perfect world. Before I do, take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if this story earns it. Drop your city and your local time in the comments. I like knowing who's out there. They say marriage is like a software update. You think you know what you're getting, but somehow everything runs slower afterward. I'm Dave Harris, 41 years old, and I've been debugging other people's computer problems for 15 years. Turns out I should have been debugging my own life instead. My wife, Vanessa, sits across from me at our kitchen table, scrolling through her phone while her coffee grows cold. She's 38, sharp as a blade, and runs PR for half the tech startups in Boston. Right now, she's giggling at something on her screen, completely ignoring the fact that I'm trying to discuss our son Ethan's college plans. The guidance counselor says he needs to start thinking about applications, I tell her, watching her thumbs dance across the screen. Ethan's got the grades for MIT, but MHM, she murmurs, not looking up. Her manicured fingers tap rapidly. She's texting someone, and from the smile playing at her lips, it's not about work. Well, maybe it is. These days, Vanessa seems to work a lot of late nights. I was thinking we could visit some campuses this summer, I continue. Maybe drive up to Boston University, check out Northeastern. Dave, honey, can we talk about this later? She finally glances up, her green eyes distracted. I've got this huge client crisis brewing. Nate's company is launching next week, and the media strategy is falling apart. Nate, she mentions him a lot these days. Nate Cormarmac, 34, charming in that way that makes other men want to punch him. He owns some startup that does something with social media analytics. The kind of business that sounds important, but nobody really understands what it does. Sure, I say, because what else am I going to say? We'll talk later. But we won't. We never do anymore. Ethan shuffles into the kitchen, 15 years old and already taller than me. He's got my brown hair, but Vanessa's sharp features. He grabs a Pop-Tart from the counter and nods at me. Morning, Dad. Hey, buddy. Sleep okay? Yeah. He glances at his mother, still glued to her phone. Mom, can you drive me to Jake's house after school? We're working on a project. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Vanessa looks up annoyed. Can't your father do it? I've got meetings all afternoon. I can do it, I say quickly. Ethan's face relaxes. He's used to this by now. Mom's always busy. Dad picks up the slack. Thanks, Dad. He heads toward the door. Backpack slung over his shoulder. See you later. After he leaves, the kitchen falls quiet, except for the sound of Vanessa's typing. I watch her for a moment. Really look at her. When did she start wearing so much makeup to work? When did she start caring so much about her appearance for client meetings? I should get going too, I say, standing up. Got a server migration at the hospital today. She doesn't look up. I grab my laptop bag and head for the door. In the hallway, I pause and look back. Vanessa is holding her phone up, taking a selfie. At 7:30 in the morning for work, I'm sure. The drive to Boston General takes 20 minutes in traffic. I've been doing IT consulting for them for 3 years now and they trust me with their systems. It's good work. Hospitals can't afford downtime, so they pay well for reliability. Plus, I like solving problems that actually matter. When someone's life depends on the network staying up, you don't mess around. My phone buzzes while I'm waiting at a red light. Text from Mike, my oldest friend, and the only person who tells me the truth, even when I don't want to hear it. Beer tonight? You look like you need it. I text back. How can you tell I need it? Because you always need it these days, brother. He's not wrong. Mike works construction, builds things with his hands, and has zero patience for complicated relationship drama. He's been married to Linda for 12 years, and they fight about normal things like money, and whose turn it is to take out the trash. Simple problems with simple solutions. At the hospital, I spend the morning moving patient data to new servers. It's methodical work that requires focus, which is exactly what I need. No time to think about Vanessa's mysterious text conversations or her sudden interest in working late. Around noon, I take a break and check my personal email. There's a message from Vanessa's mother, Gloria, asking if we're still coming to dinner on Sunday. Gloria is 63, lives in a mansion in Beacon Hill, and has never liked me. She thinks Vanessa married beneath herself, a computer guy instead of a lawyer or doctor. She's probably right. I'm about to reply when my phone buzzes with a text from Vanessa. Emergency at the office. Might be late tonight. Don't wait up. Another emergency. That's the third one. This week, I finished the server migration by 4 and head out to pick up Ethan. He's waiting by the school entrance, talking to a girl with bright red hair. When he sees my car, he says goodbye and jogs over. Who's the girl? I ask. He gets in. Jessica, she's in my computer science class. He buckles his seatbelt. She's pretty cool. Knows more about coding than half the guys. Smart is good, I tell him. Smart lasts longer than pretty. He looks at me sideways. You okay, Dad? You sound weird. Just tired. I pull out of the school parking lot. So, what's this project you're working on with Jake? We're building a website for the school's environmental club. Nothing fancy, just basic HTML and CSS. He pauses. Jake's parents are getting divorced. That's rough. Yeah. His mom found out his dad was cheating. She hired a private investigator and everything. Ethan stares out the window. Jake says his dad thought he was being sneaky, but people always leave digital footprints. Digital footprints. My son, the philosopher. We drive in comfortable silence for a few minutes. Ethan's always been easy to be around. He doesn't need constant entertainment or conversation. He's content to observe and think, which is probably why he's so good with computers. Dad, he says as we pull into Jake's driveway. Yeah. Are you and Mom okay? The question hits me like a punch to the stomach. I want to lie to give him the standard adult answer about everything being fine, but Ethan's too smart for that, and he deserves better. We're going through a rough patch, I say finally. But that's not your fault, and it's not something you need to worry about. He nods, but I can see the worry in his eyes anyway. If you guys split up, I want to live with you. Before I can respond, he's out of the car and walking toward Jake's house. I sit there for a moment, watching him go. When did my 15-year-old son become more mature than his mother? I drive home through the evening traffic thinking about digital footprints and private investigators and the way Vanessa smiled at her phone this morning. Our house is a 3-story brownstone in Cambridge. Not fancy like Gloria's place, but nice enough. We bought it 7 years ago when business was good and our marriage still felt solid. The house is empty when I get home. Vanessa's car isn't in the driveway. I check my phone. No messages. Another emergency at the office, apparently. I heat up leftover pizza and eat it standing at the kitchen counter scrolling through work emails. Nothing urgent, which is good. Tomorrow I'm supposed to upgrade the network security at a law firm downtown. Routine work, but it pays the bills. My phone rings. Mike, you free for that beer? Vanessa's working late. I say again. Meet me at Murphy's in 20 minutes. Murphy's is a dive bar near Mike's construction site, the kind of place where the beer is cold and nobody cares about your problems. Mike is already there when I arrive, sitting at the bar with a Budweiser in front of him. You look terrible, he says as I sit down. Thanks. That's exactly what I needed to hear. The bartender, a woman named Carol who's worked here for 20 years, sets a beer in front of me without being asked. Rough day, rough month, I tell her. Mike takes a long drink and studies my face. What's going on, Dave? And don't tell me it's work stress. I consider lying, but Mike has known me since high school. He can read me like a technical manual. I think Vanessa's having an affair. The words hang in the air between us. Mike doesn't look surprised. What makes you think that? I tell him about the late nights, the mysterious text messages, the way she's always distracted, about Nate and his company, and how often his name comes up in conversation. Have you asked her about it? Asked her what? Hey honey, are you cheating on me? She'd just deny it. Mike nods slowly. So, what are you going to do? I don't know. I take a drink. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she really is just busy with work. Maybe, Mike says, but his tone suggests he doesn't believe it any more than I do. We drink in silence for a while, watching a baseball game on the TV above the bar. The Red Sox are losing, which feels appropriate. You know what the worst part is? I say finally. I'm not even surprised. Part of me has been expecting this for months. Why? Because she's outgrown me. Vanessa's ambitious, successful, beautiful. She moves in circles where people drive BMWs and vacation in the Hamptons. I fix computers and drive a Honda. That's garbage, Mike says firmly. You're a good man, Dave. You work hard. You love your kid. You've been faithful to your wife for 15 years. If she can't see that, it's her loss. I want to believe him, but it's hard when you're sitting in a dive bar at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night because your wife is too busy to come home. My phone buzzes. Text from Vanessa. Still at the office. This crisis is worse than I thought. Love you. Love you. 2 words that used to mean everything and now feel like a form letter. I should go, I tell Mike. Ethan will be home soon. Call me if you need anything, he says. I mean it. I drive home through the quiet streets, thinking about what Ethan said earlier. People always leave digital footprints. Maybe it's time I started looking for some. The next morning starts the same way. Vanessa at the kitchen table, phone in hand, lost in her own world. But today, I'm paying closer attention. I notice the way she angles the screen away from me when she types. The way she quickly switches apps when I walk by. The little smile that plays at her lips when she reads certain messages. Big day ahead, I ask, pouring coffee. Huge, she says without looking up. Nate's launch event is tomorrow night. I'll probably be there until midnight making sure everything goes smoothly. Sounds important. It is. This could make or break his company. She finally glances at me. You don't mind, do you? I know we haven't been spending much time together lately. It's fine. I lie. Work is work. After she leaves, I sit at my laptop and do something I never thought I'd do. I start investigating my own wife. It feels wrong, like reading someone's diary. But Ethan's words keep echoing in my head. People always leave digital footprints. Vanessa and I share a cell phone plan, which means I have access to the account details. I log in and pull up the usage reports for the past month. What I see makes my stomach clench. Hundreds of text messages to a number I don't recognize. Phone calls at odd hours, early morning, late evening, weekends. The pattern is clear. Whoever owns that number is a major part of Vanessa's life. I run the number through a reverse lookup service. It comes back registered to Nathan Cormarmac Nate. My hands are shaking as I scroll through the call logs. 3-hour conversations on Sunday afternoons when she claimed to be at the gym. Text exchanges that start at 6 o'clock in the morning and continue past midnight. This isn't just business. I need more evidence. I need to be sure. That afternoon, I drive to Vanessa's office building downtown. It's a sleek glass tower filled with marketing firms, law offices, and tech companies. I park across the street and wait. I feel like a stalker, but I need to know the truth. At 5:30, Vanessa emerges from the building. She's not alone. A man walks beside her. Tall, dark hair, expensive suit. Nate Cormarmac. I recognize him from his company's website. They stop on the sidewalk talking animatedly. Vanessa laughs at something he says, touching his arm. It's an intimate gesture, casual and familiar. The kind of touch that comes from knowing someone well. They walk to a restaurant 2 blocks away. I follow at a distance, feeling ridiculous, but unable to stop myself. Through the window, I watch them sit at a corner table. They're not discussing business. They're holding hands across the table. I've seen enough. I drive home in a daze, my mind spinning. 15 years of marriage and it comes down to this. Watching my wife hold hands with another man through a restaurant window. Ethan is in his room when I get home working on homework. I knock on his door. Hey, Dad. How was work? Fine. I sit on the edge of his bed. Listen, I might need to travel for work next week. Would you be okay staying with Grandma Gloria for a few days? He makes a face. Do I have to? She always makes me eat weird food and complains about my clothes. Maybe Mike and Linda would let you stay with them instead. That would be better. He studies my face. Is everything okay? You look upset. Just work stuff, I tell him. Nothing for you to worry about. But he's already worrying. I can see it in his eyes. Vanessa comes home at 10:30, claiming she grabbed dinner with a client after the office crisis finally got resolved. She kisses my cheek and heads upstairs to shower. I sit in the living room listening to the water run, wondering how long this has been going on. When she comes back downstairs in her bathrobe, I'm waiting. How's Nate's launch event coming together? I ask casually. Good. Really good. She sits on the couch next to me, close enough that I can smell her shampoo. He's nervous, but I think it's going to be a huge success. You've been working with him for a while now. About 6 months. She picks up her phone, checking for messages. He's a good client, easy to work with. Easy, right? Maybe I should meet him sometime, I suggest, if he's such an important client. Vanessa's fingers pause on her phone screen. Sure, maybe after the launch when things calm down. But I can tell from her tone that she has no intention of introducing us. That night, I lie awake listening to Vanessa breathe beside me. She's sleeping peacefully. No guilt keeping her awake. I wonder how she does it. How she comes home and kisses me and pretends everything is normal when she's building a whole other life with someone else. Around 3 o'clock in the morning, her phone buzzes on the nightstand. She reaches for it automatically, still half asleep. The screen lights up and I catch a glimpse of the message preview. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night. This is going to be perfect. It's from Nate. Vanessa deletes the message and puts the phone back, but I've seen enough. Tomorrow night, the launch event she'll be attending until midnight. Perfect for what exactly? I finally fall asleep around dawn. And when I wake up, Vanessa is already gone. There's a note on the kitchen counter. Big day today. Don't wake up tonight. Love you. Love you. Those words are starting to feel like a slap in the face. I call Mike during my lunch break and tell him what I discovered. He listens without interrupting. And when I finish, he's quiet for a long moment. What are you going to do? He asks finally. I don't know. Confront her, get a lawyer, pretend I never saw anything. You can't pretend, Dave. Not anymore. He's right. The knowledge is eating at me from the inside. Every time Vanessa smiles at me or asks about my day, I want to scream. Every time she mentions Nate's name, I feel sick. There's something else. I tell Mike, I've been thinking about what happens next. If we get divorced, she'll probably get half of everything. The house, my retirement savings, maybe even alimony. So she's planning to leave me anyway. She's just waiting for the right moment. Why should I make it easy for her? Mike is quiet again. When he speaks, his voice is careful. What are you thinking? I'm thinking it's time to level the playing field. That evening, I pick up Ethan from Jake's house and take him out for dinner. We go to his favorite burger place and I watch him eat while I pretend to have an appetite. Dad, can I ask you something? He says between bites. Sure. Are you and Mom getting divorced? The question catches me off guard. Why would you ask that? Because you've been acting weird and Mom's never home anymore and you guys barely talk to each other. He puts down his burger. I'm not stupid, Dad. I can tell when something's wrong. I look at my son. Really? Look at him. He's 15, but in this moment, he seems older, more mature than either of his parents. I don't know what's going to happen, I tell him honestly. But whatever does happen, you are the most important thing in the world to me. That will never change. He nods, satisfied with my honesty, if not my answer. When we get home, Vanessa's car is in the driveway. She's in the living room getting ready for the launch event. She's wearing a black dress I've never seen before, and she looks stunning. Wow, I say. You look amazing. She smiles, pleased. Thank you. I wanted to look professional tonight. First impressions matter. Professional? Sure. What time will you be home? Late? Probably around 1 or 2. She grabs her purse and keys. Don't wait up. She kisses me goodbye. And for a moment, I almost believe that this is real, that she loves me, that our marriage means something, that I'm imagining the whole thing. Then she's gone off to spend the evening with her lover while I sit at home like an idiot. But not tonight. Tonight I'm going to get some answers. I wait 30 minutes after Vanessa leaves, then drive downtown to the hotel where Nate's launch event is being held. It's a fancy place with a circular driveway and valet and red jackets. I park across the street and watch well-dressed people stream into the building. Through the lobby windows, I can see the party in full swing. There's Vanessa working the room like the professional she is, introducing people and making sure everyone has a drink. She's good at her job. I have to give her that. And there's Nate holding court near the bar. He's everything I'm not: tall, confident, the kind of man who commands attention when he walks into a room. I can see why Vanessa is attracted to him. I'm about to leave when something happens that changes everything. Vanessa and Nate meet near the back of the room away from the crowd. They think they're being discreet, but from my angle across the street, I can see them clearly. They're not just talking. Nate has his hand on Vanessa's lower back and she's leaning into him. Then he says something that makes her laugh and she kisses him. Not a friendly peck on the cheek, a real kiss. The kind married women shouldn't be giving to their clients. I take out my phone and start recording. The video quality isn't great from this distance, but it's clear enough to show what's happening. This is evidence, proof that I'm not imagining things. They break apart when someone approaches them, immediately switching back to professional mode. But the damage is done. I have what I need. I drive home feeling strangely calm. The uncertainty is over. The wondering and doubting and second-guessing, all of it is finished. Vanessa is having an affair. And now I have proof. The question is, what do I do with it? I could confront her tonight when she comes home. Demand an explanation, threaten divorce, make a scene. But that would be playing by her rules, reacting emotionally while she stays in control. Instead, I'm going to be smart about this, strategic. If Vanessa wants to play games, I'll show her how it's done. I spend the next 2 hours researching everything I can find about Nate Cormarmac, his company, his background, his social media presence. The man loves attention. His Instagram is full of photos from expensive restaurants and exotic vacations. He's also married, which makes this even more complicated. His wife is named Jennifer, and from her social media, she seems like a nice person. She works as a teacher and volunteers at animal shelters. She has no idea her husband is cheating on her with my wife. By the time Vanessa comes home at 2 o'clock in the morning, I have a plan. How was the event? I ask from the couch where I've been pretending to watch television. Exhausting, but successful, she says, kicking off her heels. I think Nate's company is going to do really well. That's great. I'm happy for him. She looks at me suspiciously as if she can sense something different in my tone, but I keep my expression neutral, and after a moment, she relaxes. I'm going to bed, she says. See you in the morning. Good night. I wait until I hear her bedroom door close, then get to work. The first thing I do is create a fake email account using a variation of Nate's name. Then I send an anonymous message to his wife, Jennifer, with the video I recorded tonight attached. Thought you should know what your husband was doing at his launch party. I write. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I don't sign it. I don't need credit. I just need Jennifer to know the truth. The second thing I do is create a social media account and post the video publicly tagging both Nate's company and Vanessa's PR firm. I use hashtags that will help it get discovered. Cheating husband Dan professional ethics damn Boston business. Within an hour, the video has been shared dozens of times. By morning, it will be everywhere. The third thing I do is call in sick to work. Tomorrow is going to be interesting and I want to be home to watch it unfold. I finally go to bed around 4 o'clock in the morning. Vanessa is sleeping peacefully, completely unaware that her world is about to explode. My alarm goes off at 7, but I'm already awake. I can hear Vanessa in the shower getting ready for another day of managing Nate's career. I wonder how long it will take for her to discover that his career and hers are about to take a very different turn. I'm in the kitchen making coffee when her phone starts ringing. It's sitting on the counter where she left it and I can see the caller ID. Riley. Riley is one of Vanessa's best friends, a woman who thrives on drama and gossip. If she's calling this early, it's not good news. The phone stops ringing, then immediately starts again. Same caller. Vanessa comes downstairs a few minutes later, dressed for work and looking refreshed. She picks up her phone and sees the missed calls. That's weird, she says, hitting redial. Riley never calls this early. I pretend to read the newspaper while she waits for Riley to answer. Hey, what's wrong? Vanessa says into the phone. Then her face changes. What video? What are you talking about? I can hear Riley's voice through the phone, high-pitched and excited, but I can't make out the words. Whatever she's saying, it's making Vanessa pale. Send me the link, Vanessa says quietly right now. She stares at her phone as the text comes through, then clicks on the video of herself kissing Nate. Her hands start shaking. "Oh no," she whispers. "Oh no." Her phone rings again. It's her boss. She answers shakily. "I can explain," she says. "It's not what it looks like. We were just—" She stops. "Yes, I'll be there in an hour." She hangs up and grabs her purse, moving like she's in a trance. "I'll see you tonight." After she leaves, I check social media. The video has been shared over 200 times and the comments are harsh. My phone rings. It's Mike. "Dave, what did you do?" I admit I posted the video. "Are you sure this was a good idea?" Mike asks. "She's been lying to me for months, Mike. She's leaving anyway. At least this way she doesn't control the narrative." By noon, Vanessa's PR firm and Nate's company are trending. Then I get a text from Vanessa. "We need to talk. Coming home early." She arrives disheveled and readied, throwing her purse down. "We need to talk." "How was work?" I ask. She snaps. "You know what's wrong, Dave." "Actually, I don't." "Why don't you tell me?" "Someone recorded me kissing Nate last night. It's everywhere." "Really?" "Because from where I'm sitting, it looked like it meant a lot." She freezes. "Where were you last night?" "I was here waiting for you." Her realization hits. "How long have you known?" "Long enough." We sit in silence. 15 years of marriage reduced to this. "So what happens now?" she asks. "That depends. Are you leaving him for me or me for him?" She doesn't answer. I walk to the window. "Well, that makes things simpler." She starts crying, but I'm not moved. "I don't know what I want," she sobs. "You're upset you got caught," I reply. My phone rings again. It's Jennifer. "I think we need to talk." I glance at Vanessa. "I think you're right." Later, I meet Jennifer at a coffee shop. She's smaller than I expected, looking exhausted. "Thank you for meeting," she says. "This is all overwhelming." "I can imagine." She studies my face. "You're the one who sent me the video, aren't you?" "There's no point in lying." "Yes." "Why?" "Because you deserve to know the truth. Just like I did." She nods slowly. "How long have you suspected?" "About a month, but I think it's been going on longer than that." I take a sip of my coffee. "What about you?" "I've known something was wrong for weeks. Nate's been distant, working late, taking calls in private, but I never imagined." She trails off, staring out the window. 20 years of marriage. We have 2 kids. I'm sorry. Are you? Because you're the one who made it public. You could have just told me privately. She's right. And I don't have a good answer for that. I was angry. I wanted them both to face consequences. Well, you got your wish. Nate's business partners are furious. They're talking about pushing him out of the company and the media attention. She shakes her head. Our kids are going to see this eventually. I hadn't thought about that, about Jennifer's children discovering their father's affair through social media. Guilt twists in my stomach. I'm sorry about your kids, I say. I wasn't thinking clearly. No, you were thinking very clearly. You wanted revenge and you got it. She looks at me directly. The question is, what do we do now? What do you mean? I mean, our spouses are having an affair and they've both been lying to us for months. We can either let them control the situation or we can take control ourselves. There's something in her tone that makes me pay attention. Jennifer Cormarmac isn't just a betrayed wife. She's angry and she's smart. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting we work together. Pull our information. Coordinate our responses. Make sure they don't get to spin this their way. I think about this. What kind of information do you have? Credit card statements showing expensive dinners and hotel rooms. Phone records. Text messages Nate thought he deleted. She pulls out a folder. I've been documenting everything for the past 2 weeks. You were planning to leave him. I was planning to protect myself. There's a difference. She opens the folder and shows me printed emails. Look at this. The emails are between Nate and Vanessa, discussing their relationship in explicit detail. They're also making plans, talking about leaving their spouses, combining their resources, starting fresh together. They've been planning this for months. Jennifer says the launch party was supposed to be their coming out moment. They were going to tell us both this week. My hands clench into fists. They had it all figured out right down to the financial arrangements. Nate was going to divorce me and give me minimal alimony. Vanessa was going to claim you were emotionally distant and seek spousal support. Emotional abandonment. Classic divorce strategy. Except now their plan is ruined. Thanks to that video, they can't claim to be the victims anymore. We sit in silence for a moment, processing the magnitude of our spouse's betrayal. It wasn't just an affair. It was a calculated plan to destroy our lives while improving their own. So, what do you want to do about it? I ask. Jennifer smiles. And for the first time since we sat down, she looks genuinely happy. I want to make sure they get exactly what they deserve. Over the next hour, we develop a strategy. Jennifer has access to Nate's business accounts and knows about some questionable financial dealings that his partners aren't aware of. I have technical skills and access to digital information that could be useful. The goal isn't to destroy them, Jennifer explains. It's to make sure they don't profit from betraying us. What's the difference? The difference is that we stay on the right side of the law. We use information that's legally obtainable, and we make sure everything we do can be justified in court. She's thought this through. I'm starting to understand why Nate might have left her. Jennifer is formidable when motivated. There's one more thing, she says. We should tell the kids the truth before they find out online. Ethan already suspects something. Then tell him kids are resilient and they deserve honesty. I think about it as I drive home. She's right. Ethan deserves the truth. There's no point in waiting for Vanessa and Nate to announce it. Vanessa's car isn't in the driveway, likely with Nate or her mother crafting a story. I find Ethan doing homework when I get home. I sit on his bed and tell him we need to talk. He listens as I explain the affair, the lies, and the video now online. He reacts calmly, asking if we're getting divorced. I confirm and he says he's sorry, but it's not his fault. Then he asks, "Did you post the video?" I admit I did. He nods, saying, "Good. She shouldn't lie about it. He's mature for 15 and I'm proud of him." I assure him I'll fight for custody if he wants to stay with me. He does. Mom's never around and when she is, she's on her phone. That night, Vanessa returns saying we need to discuss what's next. We should separate. Give each other space. She suggests space for you to see how serious things get with Nate. I ask. She doesn't deny it. It's best for everyone, including Ethan. He'll adapt. Kids are resilient, she says, echoing Jennifer's words. But it sounds cold from her. I told him the truth today. He deserves to know why this is happening. Her face pales. You told him about the affair? He's 15 and he already knew something was wrong. She starts pacing. This is why we need space. You're making decisions without consulting me. Like you consulted me before the affair. I snap. She stops, anger rising. You don't understand what it's like to be married to someone who's given up on life. I work 60 hours a week to support this family, I shout back. You hide behind your work. You don't connect with me, she retorts. Like you do with Nate. Yes, like Nate, she yells, tears of anger, not guilt. He makes me feel alive. And I don't. Not for years. We've been roommates pretending everything's fine. Maybe she's right, but that doesn't excuse what she did. So, you had an affair instead of talking to me? I tried, but every conversation is about work or Ethan. We never talk about us anymore because there is no us anymore, Vanessa. I say, you've been ignoring the family while you build a new life. She stares at me, then sigh. I'll pack and stay at my mother's. What about Ethan? He can stay with you for now. She packs and leaves, taking only 2 suitcases and her laptop, not even saying goodbye to Ethan. The house feels too big. I check my phone. Jennifer's text says, "How did it go?" She moved out. You same. Nate's at a hotel. So, what now? Now we rebuild and make sure they don't profit from destroying us. In the following days, Vanessa's PR firm places her on leave while Nate's business partners vote him out due to the scandal. Jennifer and I meet to strategize. She's hired a lawyer for high-asset divorces, and I've found one specializing in custody cases. We're playing to our strengths. We need documentation, Jennifer advises. We have to show a pattern of deception to prove this wasn't just a mistake. She's right. The emails she found prove that Vanessa and Nate have been planning their exit strategy for months, including how to minimize their financial obligations to their current spouses. There's something else, I tell her. I've been monitoring their social media activity, and they're not being as careful as they think. I show her screenshots from Nate's Instagram account. Despite the public scandal, he's still posting photos from expensive restaurants and hotels, often with Vanessa visible in the background. They're not even trying to hide their relationship anymore. This is perfect, Jennifer says. My lawyer can use this to argue that Nate has been spending marital assets on his affair, and I can use it to show that Vanessa has been prioritizing her relationship with him over her responsibilities as a mother. It feels cold and calculating, but so did their plan to abandon their families. If they want to play hardball, we'll play hardball. That evening, I'm helping Ethan with his homework when my phone rings. It's Vanessa. We need to talk about custody arrangements, she says without preamble. What about them? I want Ethan to spend weekends with me at my mother's house. Have you asked Ethan what he wants? He's 15, Dave. He doesn't get to make that decision. Actually, in Massachusetts, he does. Kids over 14 can express a preference about custody, and judges usually listen. There's silence on the other end of the line. Since when do you know about custody law? Since I hired a lawyer. You hired a lawyer? We agreed to try to work this out ourselves. No, you decided to move out and start making unilateral decisions about our son. I decided to protect my interests. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Dave. You're being vindictive. I'm being practical. There's a difference. She hangs up on me. 5 minutes later, my phone buzzes with a text. You're going to regret this. I show the text to Ethan, who reads it and shakes his head. She's really not handling this well, is she? He says, no, she's not. Good thing I don't want to spend weekends at Grandma Gloria's house anyway. She doesn't have good internet. Despite everything, I laugh. My son has his priorities straight. The next morning brings news that changes everything. Jennifer calls me at 7:00 a.m., her voice tight with excitement. Turn on Channel 7 News, she says. Right now. I grab the remote and flip to the local news station. There's a reporter standing outside Nate's former office building and the headline at the bottom of the screen reads, Local Tech Executive Under Investigation for Embezzlement. What is this? I asked Jennifer. Remember those questionable financial dealings I mentioned? I gave the information to a reporter friend of mine. Turns out Nate's been skimming money from client accounts for months. On screen, the reporter is explaining how an anonymous tip led to the discovery of missing funds from several of Nate's business accounts. The amounts aren't huge, a few thousand here and there, but it's enough to warrant a criminal investigation. This is going to destroy him, I say. That's the idea. And since Vanessa was his PR consultant, she's going to get dragged into it, too. She's right. By noon, Vanessa's name is mentioned in every news report about the embezzlement investigation. Her PR firm releases a statement distancing themselves from both Nate and Vanessa, effectively ending her career in Boston's tight-knit marketing community. My phone rings constantly throughout the day. Reporters, lawyers, friends who've seen the news. I don't answer most of the calls, but I do take one from Mike. Jesus, Dave, you've really done it now. I didn't do anything. Nate did this to himself. By stealing money? By thinking he was smarter than everyone else? Mike is quiet for a moment. Are you sure you want to go this far? This is starting to feel like overkill. They were planning to take everything, Mike. My house, my savings, my son. They were going to leave me with nothing while they started their perfect new life together. And now they're finding out what it feels like to lose everything. That evening, Vanessa shows up at my door unannounced. She looks terrible. Her hair is unwashed, her clothes are wrinkled, and her eyes are wild with desperation. You have to make this stop, she says, pushing past me into the house. Make what stop? The news reports, the investigation, all of it. I know you're behind this somehow. I'm not behind Nate stealing money from his clients, but you're behind everything else. The video, the social media campaign, probably the anonymous tip to the police, too. I don't deny it because there's no point. She knows. And I know she knows. Why are you doing this to me? She asks. And for the first time in weeks, she sounds genuinely hurt instead of just angry. Because you were going to do it to me first. What are you talking about? I go to my laptop and pull up the emails Jennifer found, the ones where Vanessa and Nate discuss their exit strategy. I turn the screen toward her. Emotional abandonment, I read aloud. That was going to be your angle, right? Poor Vanessa, trapped in a loveless marriage with a distant husband who doesn't appreciate her. Her face goes pale as she reads her own words. You were going to take half of everything I've worked for, claim I was an unfit father, and ride off into the sunset with your new boyfriend, all while pretending to be the victim. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. You had it all planned out. She sinks into a chair, all the fight going out of her. What do you want from me, Dave? I want you to understand what it feels like to have your life destroyed by someone you trusted. Okay, I understand. Are you happy now? No, I'm not happy. I'm not sure I'll ever be happy again, but at least now we're even. She looks around the living room, taking in the photos and furniture and memories of our life together. What happens now? She asks quietly. Now we get divorced. You figure out how to rebuild your career. I figure out how to be a single father. And we try to minimize the damage to Ethan and Nate. Nate's not my problem anymore. He's yours. She nods slowly, accepting the reality of the situation. For what it's worth, I am sorry. I never meant for it to happen this way. I know, but it did happen this way. And now we have to deal with the consequences. After she leaves, I sit in the quiet house and think about everything that's happened over the past month. A few weeks ago, I was a happily married man with a stable life and a clear future. Now I'm a single father whose wife's affair has become a public scandal. But I'm not the victim anymore. I'm not the understanding husband who quietly accepts whatever happens to him. I've learned something important about myself. When pushed too far, I push back harder than anyone expects. My phone buzzes with a text from Jennifer. Saw the news about the investigation. How are you holding up? I text back. Better than expected. How about you? Same. I think we make a good team. She's right. We do make a good team. Two people who got betrayed by the people they trusted most, who decided to fight back instead of just accepting their fate. Ethan comes downstairs and finds me on the couch. Everything okay, Dad? I heard Mom's voice earlier. She came by to talk about the divorce. Everything's fine. He sits next to me. Are you going to be okay with all this? I mean, yeah, I think I am. Are you? I'm good. This is actually kind of exciting in a weird way. Exciting? Yeah. Like you're usually so calm and logical about everything, but this time you really fought back. It's pretty cool. I look at my son, this young man who's handling our family crisis with more maturity than either of his parents showed. I'm proud of you. You know that? I tell him. I'm proud of you, too, Dad. We sit together in comfortable silence watching the evening news. The story about Nate's embezzlement investigation is the lead story, complete with footage of him leaving the police station with his lawyer. Think he'll go to jail? Ethan asks. Maybe. Depends on how much money he took and whether he can pay it back. What about Mom? She'll be okay. She's smart and resourceful. She'll figure something out. And she will. Vanessa is many things, but she's not helpless. She'll rebuild her career, probably in another city where the scandal won't follow her. She'll move on with Nate or find someone new. She'll be fine. But she'll never again underestimate the quiet computer guy who fixed everyone else's problems while ignoring his own. She'll remember this lesson for the rest of her life. As for me, I'm going to focus on being the best father I can be to Ethan. I'm going to rebuild my life on my own terms without worrying about what other people think or expect from me. And if anyone else decides to betray my trust or take advantage of my good nature, well, they'll find out exactly what happened to the last people who tried that. The house is quiet now, peaceful in a way it hasn't been for months. No more lies. No more pretending. No more wondering what's really going on behind the smiles and excuses. Just me and my son figuring out our new normal together. It's not the life I planned, but it's honest. And after everything that's happened, honesty feels like the most valuable thing in the world.